Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the place to be on, well, the new place to be on a Sunday night. We're a bit earlier this week. We're still here on Sunday night, Stop Splits TV, but we've changed it. We got the old, the new, everything going on. The old intro with a bit of new stuff thrown in, but importantly, a new era has begun here on Sunday Night Lights, where we move to the Formula Ford. Our old faithful Skip Barber has been retired for the Top Split broadcast after 30 brilliant seasons, ending on a real high. This week we are going with the new Formula Fords here at Brands Hatch. I'm your host, Alex McKellar, and joining me as always is the chaotic one, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. Corey, mate, new era, new car, many of the same faces here, looking to put on, hopefully, as the racing we've become accustomed to.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. It should be a very exciting time here for Sunday night, Monday night lights. As you said, brand new car, mostly the same crew, and a couple of faces that we haven't seen for a long time. And I am so excited for what this race is going to bring us. Also, a massive strength of field to kick off our Formula Ford journey here, Alex. A 59.53 soft. That is crazy.
Oh, we lost you there, mate, but crazy, I think you were going to say, and crazy it is. Dare I say, safely the strongest in the Formula Ford short history. But let's go through and see who has shown up in our maiden adventure here. Tim Hendrickson for Team Torpedo, of course, he is one of the regulars for Sunday Night Lights throughout its history. Joins us once again. Opening night sees the return of the great Naoya Nagai, former SNL champion in previous series or seasons gone by. He's out and about in the new car. Great to see him back. Dario Frattini, last season's championship podium sitter, joins us for round one of the new series. The Cowboys back. Sam Devantier for Speedy Snails. He's car number 4 here tonight as the leading or ranked ANZ driver. Just behind him is the McFlabby one. McFlabby Racing's Brett McBurney. Car number 6, the return of another Japanese driver, Hikaru Sasaki. Sasaki-san, of course, plenty of pace in previous seasons, been outflying his trade in other series. Great to see him back along with his compatriot, Takumi Yamato. Yamato-san coming back for Nagai Racing School. Again, he pops in from time to time, but looks like the new car's brought him back as well. Speaking of bringing back, car number 9 here tonight will be one Fraser Smith. Long time no see. Remember some great racing from Fraser in seasons gone by as the times start coming in. I have missed car number 8, Captain 499, who's in amongst us once again. Mr. Neil Gardner for Respectful Hornets in the new livery in the new car. And rounding out the top half of the field, or thereabouts, Adam Tompkins. Another, if I'm not mistaken, former Skippy driver, Corey, who's back to test out the new legs in the new Formula Ford.
That's exactly right, Alex. And poor Neil getting forgotten like that. Oh, I don't know, Alex. But speaking of Alex's, car number 11 is Alex Steenbruggen from Bellinor. It's great to see Alex out there supporting the series once more. Luke Witten from AusNZ. Normally in a Milo car, but I don't think he's got the Milo livery on, although he does have some kind of a livery. Car number 12 here tonight. Vasco Swarovski, head clown himself from AusNZ. Lucky car number 13. And it seems Vasco is just attracted to that number right now. So let's hope it brings him some good results. From Iberia, we have Alexis Tapia Vico as our 14th plated car. And we got Bobby West from the UK and I as car number 15. We have Hiroki Kokubu from Japan as our 16th player car. And wrapping up the field, just sneaking in, Alex, Ryan Chenoweth representing AusNZ as car number 17.
Absolutely. He just crosses the line now as quali comes to a close. By the looks, everyone's got it done real quick. Actually, that was a lot faster than I was expecting. Let's go through our grid. Sunday Night Lights, round 1, season 31, first voyage for the Formula Fords here at Brands Hatch tonight. Naoya Nagai returns with the stellar qualifying form that we've become accustomed to. Those who've been watching the series for a long time. Sticks it on pole ahead of Team Torpedo's Tim Hendrickson. Hiroki Kokubu, the Piro King himself, Alpine Racing with NRS. He stuck it on the second row in third, just ahead of almost a Japanese lockout of the front 4 positions. Hikaru Sasaki from Japan, he's dobbed it on 4th. Starting from 5th tonight, Fraser Smith from UK&I. Just alongside him will be the other Japanese driver, Takumi Yamato from Nagai Racing School, showing that those quality skills with the Japanese translate between series as well. Adam Tompkins for UK&I starts out of 7th. Alongside him, the leading ANZ driver off the grid tonight for Speedy Snails, the Cowboy, Sam Devantia. Dario Fattini for FPM Oval Martin. The Italian driver starting out of 9th tonight. Alongside him will be Neil Gardner for Respectful Hornets Inc. Captain 499 starting out of 10th. Just behind him will be head clown himself, Mr. Vasco Swarovski out of 11th. Alongside him in 12th will be Luke Witten for Team Milo. 13th off the grid tonight will be the Wildlife Warrior for Goose Juice Racing, Mr. Ryan Chenoweth. Alongside him from Iberia, Alexis Vico. Alex Steenbruggen from Team Baraka starts out of 15th tonight, with Brett McBurney from McFlabby Racing out of 16th. And last off the grid will be Bobby West for West Tech Esports Racing. Corey, 15 laps ahead of us. Everyone looks to be pretty much on the grid. The red lights come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They drop out and we are away for the first of 15 laps here tonight. The maiden voyage in the Formula Fords as the cars stream down towards turn 1 for the first time. Opening night of the new series. Little bit of hip and shoulders in the mid-pack. One's gone around in the middle. But other than that, the front lot have got away. I think it was Chenoweth who went round in the midfield, Corey, but everyone seems to be getting through the tight. First run through Druids, the first time round, Corey. We have success and we're away.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. Chenoweth just got a little bit loose going through turn 1, and unfortunately, he got sideways again going through turn 2. He's not having a great start to his Formula Ford career here, but everyone still getting through the track for the most part, side by side. Was Neil Gardner with Luke Witten. Luke Witten dropping back down to 12th, the last place in the SNL points, as he's still stuck on the outside, and he's still going to be stuck on the outside all the way through to turn 1, so he's probably going to lose a boatload of positions back there. But Tim Hendrickson as the one car leading the way from the guy's son, and I never thought that that was a sentence that I'd be saying for a long time, Alex. It's great to see the guy back on track.
100%. The question is, who's turned up? Is it Nagai 2.0 or, dare I say, the next evolution, the Nagai 3.0? Of course, those who've been around for a while know the Japanese driver has incredible one-lap pace in quali. He got done a bit in the racing in the early stages, but he did a fantastic job, lifted his game, and ultimately took out the championship before bidding us farewell due to injury, and now joins us for the opening race of the opening season of the Formula 4s. Look at these guys strung out. Oh, there's a bit of action back as Luke Witten looking to try and gain positions, but we have a single pack for the lead, with the exception of Ryan Chenoweth running lonely out the back. But the key passing opportunity at Druid goes by once again. The draft, of course, not what it is in the skips in the Formula Fords. They're a far more agile car, lightweight, zippy nippy. The lateral motion in the car, the lateral movement, a lot more accessible. However, you've really got to earn your passes in these cars, and they're a great thing to drive around, aren't they, Corey?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And you also have to be a little bit careful with these cars. It's very, very easy to understeer because there's nothing to really push those front wheels into the ground. And if you hit a bump wrong, it's very easy to oversteer as well and spin out, as Ryan Chenoweth did on the opening lap. But at the moment, still, as you say, a single line of skippies all the way through. We do have some action for 4th place right now. Very defensive was Sasaki that time. Going into Druids, Fraser Smith looking to try and improve position, but he just couldn't quite get there in the end, Alex.
Yeah, but he's compromised his run down the hill. And but they come out line astern once again, and they keep progressing on. They still remain line astern. The times are already into the mid to low 48s. Fastest lap so far, a 48.3 by Sasaki in P4. Stellar times already. The times will improve depending on how they race, of course. Side by side is not the fastest way around, but at the moment, it's all happening up front. Line astern, then a bit further back, Witten and Vico. No, it's Vico and Gardner still trying to get it sorted. It looks like the 14 Vico is going to come underneath Gardner on the exit of 1 into Druids this time round. Oh, he slides very wide off the apex. That gives Witten a sniff this side. The Hornet Racing's Neil Gardner, but they get it sorted at the bottom of the hill there, Corey, and survive another run through the opening sector, although Witten's now coming back and looks to go up the inside of Gardner, but Gardner will have the run through the final corner at turn 5. A long way round, Witten has to go, and now he will come under threat from McBurney behind, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. It's a weird little track in the way that, just because you have the inside for one corner does not mean you'll get that move complete. These guys fighting tooth and nail right now, and Luke Witten's actually doing a real good job. And he's gone off the track on turn 1, and he wasn't the only one. I think he just made it to the tyre barrier as well, Alex. And with these cars being such open wheels, that's probably going to be a little bit of toe damage, so he might have to make a trip down the pits.
Yeah, I think Sasaki went off as well from our lead pack. Let's go check out what happened there. He comes through and didn't quite get it right. He tries to open up the corner, and then it's cost him. And then Witten straight behind just ran a little bit deep and came out into the tyre barrier, as you say. I don't know, by the 15th time he hit the wall, he may not get away with it, although these things are pretty tough on the old suspension and early release phase. But let's check back in with our leaders. Is a bit further back. Tompkins is having a very tight battle there with who's that with? Is that with Devantia? I'm struggling with a bit of the liveries. It is Devantia. All the new liveries have caught me a bit on the hop, but they've got it done. It was a bit messy, but they've made it work, and they've got it done, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. It's a very difficult passing track. Is this Indy layout? I was hoping that we're going to be on the GP layout, a little bit more passing opportunity and a little bit of high-speed cornering action. But I do love the Indy circuit personally. It takes me back to the old V8 supercar race driver days, as Devantia into turn 1 makes the move stick, and very easily Tompkins absolutely gave him the position there, but he's going to try and fight back into Druids. Couldn't quite get there this time, but he'll no doubt be trying to set up a move to try and get back past Sam as quickly as he can.
Absolutely. Fraser Smith has made a couple of moves. He's now up to P3, up two spots. The biggest mover in the field at the moment is actually Vico. He's up 4 positions, as is Brett McBurney, who has been making his way steadily up from where he started at the back of the grid, nearly on the last row, or P16 he started. Meanwhile, up the front, we've got essentially a breakaway pack of the top 5, starting with Hendrickson, ending with Yamato. Fraser Smith has been the one doing the moves here. Those who are familiar with the series may not be familiar with Shiroki Kokubu in P4, but those in the know will tell you he is lightning fast. He is the 16th plated car with an I rating of just under 5k. He's about 4,900, but I can tell you he has got the jets. He's got the jets in that car. He's a handy driver, and he'll be looking to put all sorts of pressure all over Fraser Smith in front of him. You can see him right up the tailpipe now. Oh no, Kokubu's in the orange car. It's Fraser Smith putting all sorts of pressure over Kokubu's compatriot in Nagai in the 2 car. Nagai taking the defensive line. Opens the door for Fraser Smith, who comes underneath through turn 1. Will he come over? Will he have the grip? He will, to go defensive into Druids this time round. Meanwhile, Hendrickson licking his lips with the opportunity to potentially get away. The Japanese drivers 3rd, 4th, 5th now. Both Nagai and Kokubu losing spots, and leaving the Europeans in Hendrickson and Smith to get away up front, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And if the warm-up race is anything to go by, Hendrickson will absolutely take a little bit of a gap, and he'll take it as far as he can, as Fraser Smith got a little bit sideways going through the final corner there, and that has definitely opened up space for Hendrickson here to just click his heels and power away. Very defensive is Smith actually going along the front straight this time. Nothing really doing there for Nagai though, and I think these guys might be in a little bit of trouble now that Hendrickson has that 0.5 of a second gap.
Yeah, it's just whether or not Smith can hold it together. I mean, he's obviously been able to put on a few moves. He's up 3 positions. As we said, not easy to do at the top end of town. It's just whether or not he's got the pace to go with it. I've just spotted in the telemetry Vico out the back. He's had an incident. The 14 car coming up towards the final corner, just got on the ripple strip and around she went. Oh, that's an awkward spot to finish. He's let it roll. Hold the brakes there, which is the normal thing you want to do. But when you're lying on the racing line like that, he's done the right thing and let him go. Meanwhile, back up front, live pictures now. Smith has started putting in the laps. He's just got enough of a gap over Nagai to start thinking eyes forward rather than having to defend and drive in his mirrors, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. He's also put in the fastest lap of the race so far. The first one into the 47, so the 47.947. And he's going to be looking at trying to charge up on the back of Hendrickson here. And we're almost halfway through this race. It's a 20-minute race, or it's going to be about 24, 25 laps, depending on the pace of our leaders. And it looks like at the moment, it might just be 25, according to my telemetry, but we'll see how that goes as we are now 12 laps into the books and still just under the 10-minute mark in this race, Alex.
Yeah, Nagai made a mistake through the final corner, caught the grass on the outside of the exit. That gave the only incentive that Kokobu needed as he made the move down the front straight. The Japanese drivers now 3, 4, 5 in the standings and having a battle in amongst themselves as once again Hendrickson or Fraser Smith using every bit of the runoff that you can at the exit of turn 3. And you can use that. It's legit. There's no incident or track incident points out there, and there is enough grip to get it done. Oh, Smith really using the width of the circuit at every opportunity, but I don't think it's gaining him any time at this stage. He's just shy of a second behind Hendrickson now, about 9/10 as he gains a little bit through turn 1. But Hendrickson really just head down lapping here. That's all he's got to do. The draft is not what the skips were, and in fact it's a lot more down to the driver, in particular with consistency, technique and speed, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And in fact, Fraser Smith lost 0.3 of a second that last lap. So that gap is continuing to grow. And if Fraser Smith keeps making these little mistakes, it's going to invite Kokobu back in to maybe try and make a move out of it. As again, Fraser Smith uses all the track on the exit of turn 5 and trying to just build up that momentum to close in on Hendrickson a little bit. And it did work. He did close back in a little bit, but I think we just had some action in the final corner that time, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. We've just getting through the mid stages here. The guys are really trying to find their way in these cars. A lot of laps been done this week by many in here, but yeah, it's still such a new car, still trying to figure it out. I can see a couple went off track. I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about. Let's go check out what happened through around. It was Gardner that got picked up and Steenbruggen and the 5 car there of Brett McBurney. I just might go take another look at that. Oh, Gardner went around. I'm not sure if he got some help, and then Steenbruggen got caught up with McBurney, and that, folks, was all she wrote. That was a big incident in the midfield, Corey.
Yeah, it was, and with these new cars comes just the learning curve of trying to get used to how they act and react in certain situations, and I think it's still too fresh for people to really be able to use artful dodging skills to get around incidents like that. So it's unfortunate for that mid-pack, but it's definitely just spread the field out a little bit here as well, Alex. I can see that there is a huge gap between the 5 of Brett McBurney and Vasco Sorosky in front of him. It's to the tune of about 9 seconds is that gap. And McBurney playing the lonely game right now, just hot lapping all by himself as he's got no one around him at all, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. And ahead of him, Frattini and Sorosky, 2 names familiar to the series. They're battling it out for P8 and P9 respectively. You move forward from there, you got Tompkins and Devantia in a nice little pair. And then you move up to the main game, which is led by Hendrickson, of course, out now by a full 1.4 seconds, driving consistently and quickly and cleanly through there. Fraser Smith leading this this big, or it's 4 strong, this pack fighting for the minor spots on the podium. He is driving the wheels off it, trying to be consistent, trying to use all the track as we've seen. Oh, look at that. Every bit of the track and more. Hangs on to it as Cockaboo has a look. Shows the nose at least. Fraser Smith one's wide to make sure that they both get through. Makes allowances as the nose was shown by Cockaboo, but they fall back into line. Lap 18 now. About 7.5 to go, Corey. I think Hendrickson's off to the races. He's pretty sold. You got any money on this second pack? Who do you reckon's going to win the battle here in the second pack?
Oh, it's going to be hard to tell, Alex, but I think with the way Fraser Smith is driving right now, I think he's just making too many little mistakes that just keep losing him time here and there. I mean, he's doing great defensive work, but Cockaboo is definitely on a hot one, and I'm going to say he's going to be the one to watch to come second. But there's also the possibility of those two making contact with each other, in which case Nagai-san sitting there 4th. He's probably going to be in the box seat, Alex.
Could well be. Could well be. I've just spotted a sad clown moment. Vasco Sorosky losing the rear through turn 1. Doing a bit of a... going on a bit of an adventure there in the grass, in the kitty litter. And bringing it back on, thankfully without any damage by the looks. Meanwhile, back in our leading group, fighting for those minor spots on the podium. Once again, we've got Smith taking a defensive line, and this is going to be costing them time, right? So he comes in narrow, he goes out wide, which is fine, but it is slow. It's just that little bit slow. They are not going to catch Hendrickson. I assume they've resigned themselves to just fighting over P2 now, because every time that Cockaboo puts the pressure on, which he, rightly can and should be doing. Oh, Fraser Smith once again getting very loose, using perhaps a little bit more of the track than he should be for speed. And now Cockaboo all over him, all over the back of him. The Piro King himself is chasing hard. He's got a much stronger run out of the final corner now, up the main front straight, the start finish straight. There's no room on the right, moves over to driver's left. Will he be further alongside? No, it's almost like he's lifting into there, Corey. Trying to come underneath this time. Can he get the good run? But Smith will cover him early and force him to go around the outside. It is possible to go around the outside here, but you must be much further along. Be much more committed into the braking zone to go around the outside and then, of course, get the inside to this corner here at turn 3, Corey. It can be done, but it requires full commitment.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Alex, and it all comes down to the run that you get out of turn 1. You really can't be lifting that early if you want to try and go for that outside move, as my telemetry is telling me we're going to have 4 laps to go this time at the line. So I think that puts us at 25 laps for this race. Once again, Fraser Smith going very defensive. Let's see what Cockaboo does this time. And again, it just looks like he lifts early going into turn 1, trying to get that over-under. But it just doesn't look like it's quite working out for him. Fraser Smith this time not going defensively. And they're going to get through Druids cleanly. But yeah, it's going to be hard for Cockaboo to make a move if he keeps lifting this early into turn 1, Alex.
Absolutely. You got Tompkins and Devant here having a red-hot battle. Briefly side-by-side on the run into Druids that time round. And someone pointed out to me, Sasaki here all the way down in P17, setting fastest laps on his own some here. A real shame for the race that we've lost him early on. Vasco Sorosky's had an incident, another one. The head clown not having a happy night on his opening foray into the Formula 4s. He's just going to lose the rear here. Very common here this week. Thankfully, no one caught up in the misadventures of one head clown. Vasco Sorosky had happier nights here on a Sunday night, but joining our action-packed battle for the minor spots on the podium, Fraser Smith still hanging on long and strong as we wind down the laps. He's opening up into the final section. Comes around the final corner. His entry is wide. Comes in to the rear of the car. Leaves. Oh, it's really starting to sing. Will Cockaboo be able to come underneath him? Not quite this time. Will he have a firmer look now? There'll be 2 to go as they cross the line. Cockaboo pulls out to the right. Sorry, out to the left early. Still lifting, Corey. He's only got 2 laps to go. He's got to have a crack, surely.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. This is not the time where he should be lifting and trying to play it safe. If he wants to get this second spot on the podium, then he's going to have to really commit to getting through turn 1. And this is what I said before. He won't get that position. He won't be able to even attempt to make a move unless he does so. As in the background there, I just saw Devantia getting sideways going through the exit of turn 3. But here we go into the final corner towards the last lap of the race. And look at how wide Smith goes, coming out of the final corner, cuts right back down to the white line, and he's going to protect as much as he can as it's a white flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it. And it looks like Hendrickson is absolutely going to make history here and be the first winner for the Formula Ford Sunday Night Lights Series. And this time, Cockaboo nowhere near close enough. In fact, Nagai-san had a look at his outside going through Druids, and I think this is going to be all she wrote because there's not really too many opportunities from here, Alex.
No, it'd be a mistake now that it cost him. But as you say, Hendrickson about to run away with the first ever Sunday Night Lights Formula Ford race as he comes around the final corner. Team Torpedo running almost casually as he does around the final corner. Get a bit of a tighter shot on Mr. Hendrickson. The car number 1, he's didn't put it on pole, but he's taken the maiden race here on Sunday night in the Formula Ford. Smith, Cockaboo and Nagai, Yamato. Strong performance, strong night out for the Japanese drivers. Just looking down the field, McBurney's hung on there for a top 10 finish, up 7 positions. Incidents all around him tonight. Vico, Witten, Bobby West on debut is just inside the points. The Wildlife Warrior. All some of our regulars crossing deep into the pack. Sasaki after setting lap upon lap. Fastest lap of the race in clean air, all the way down in 15th. And Swarovski, unfortunately, a sad night for the head clown. Now, let's go and take a look at our... let me just find the right view here. Let's go take a look at our race results here, folks, for round 1, season 31 of Sunday Night Lights here at Brands Hatch. Of course, our first ever victor in the Formula Fords as we make our move to the new and shiny. Tim Hendrickson for Team Torpedo. He's won a few of these before, but he's the first and only first winner of the Formula Ford version of Sunday Night Lights. Fraser Smith, a good return, a strong performance from him to finish in second from UK&I. Cockaboo takes out his maiden podium position there for Alpine Racing with NRS. Cockaboo finishing in third ahead of his sometime mentor Naoya Nagai, former series champion of course, the Japanese driver finishing in fourth, with his compatriot Takumi Yamato for Nagai Racing School finishing in fifth. Leading ANZ driver tonight was the Cowboy Sam Devantier for Speedy Snails. Behind him in a race-long battle was Adam Tompkins for UK&I. Dario Fantini for FPM Oval Martine finishes the first Formula Ford race in 8th. Behind him, McFlabby Racing's Brett McBurney. Alexis Vico for Iberia rounds out your top 10. Luke Witten for Team Milo finishes in 11th ahead of debutant Bobby West for West Tech Esports Racing. Also rounding out the Sunday Night Lights point scoring positions. The Wildlife Warrior for Goose Juice Racing, Mr. Ryan Chenoweth finishes in 13th ahead of Captain 499 Neil Gardner for Respectful Hornets Incorporated. Hikaru Sasaki for Japan, the final Japanese driver, finishes in 15th. Hopefully we'll see him back and hopefully up the pointy end in the weeks to come. Alex Steenbrook for Team Baracus finishes in 16th ahead of the head clown, ANZ's own Vasco Swarovski in 17th. That's how they finished, Corey, the first night out. Big night of racing here, and the boys got it done. Looking forward to the bigger, longer tracks, a bit more opportunity to get some moves going. This tight circuit certainly tested the drivers, made it difficult for passing though.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex, and that's generally the point of the Indy circuit here at Brands Hatch. It's more of a driver's circuit. You really got to make moves happen, pressure to pass, and all that kind of jazz. But what a way to kick off the season in the Formula Fords. Tim Hendrickson with a dominating victory by 3.5 seconds over Fraser Smith, and Fraser Smith stout in defense, which is exactly what you need to be around such a tight little track. So he definitely earned his keep there to keep that second place, Alex.
100%. Now let's grab our race winner, Mr. Tim Hendrickson for Team Torpedo. Tim, fair night out, mate. You're out there out in front on your own and ran away with it in the end.
That was awfully comfortable. I kind of hope for a bit more of a race, but I really can't complain after a runaway win.
Nah, that's it, mate. The racing's been challenging, learning the new car in the last week or so. Levels out the playing field a little bit. Everyone's starting from scratch, but certainly, what's your first thoughts on the car so far?
I'm really liking it so far. Of course, it's not like the car I used to drive, the Skippy. It's a bit different, but similar enough in terms of racing. The side by side stuff that makes it a very interesting combination, and especially at a track like Brands Hatch Indy. Of course, the home track of this car makes racing a joy.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Good to hear it. So hopefully, mate, certainly a strong performance from yourself, but also a great turnout seeing old faces and new. Our first week out, massive soft with a 5,900. That's a way to kick it off. Hopefully, plenty of good things to come in this one, mate. Anyone you'd like to say good day to or give a shout out to tonight?
Alex Steenbrugge and Dario Frattini for being good company in Discord, and of course my wonderful team Torpedo.
Very good. Hopefully,
and of course you guys for hopefully putting on a great season.
Hopefully, I cross my fingers, mate. We'll get there maybe, but hopefully we'll see some more torpedoes in the field too. But we'll see how we go, eh? All right, mate. Great. Good to talk to you. Look forward to talking to you again soon.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
There you go, Corey. That was Tim Hendrickson, winner of the maiden race here in the Formula Fords on a Sunday night.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And it's always hard to look past Tim Hendrickson when you're talking about potential race winners in just about anything. Hendrickson is a very, very fast driver. And, it's great to see him get out there, have a crack, and not just win, but win so convincingly. And it bodes well for his chances for taking out season 31.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Look, it's also very good insight into the strategy of these cars when compared to the skips that we're used to. Clean driving, the order of the day. And once, the draft was such a factor before, it's less so in these. It can help you maneuver for a pass or position yourself for an overtake, but you got to be good enough to be in it. There's no more, 3/10 off and I'm still in the party. It's very, very interesting. And of course, the moves cost you time, which then open up a gap that you got to get back. So whole different set of strategies. But let's move on. We've got P2 tonight. Returning driver, Mr. Fraser Smith, who we haven't seen for some time. Great to see him back in the seat. Hard-fought P2 tonight, Fraser. Hopefully you enjoyed it, though.
That was good. Yeah, I actually managed to make a few moves, which is pretty hard on this track. And then when I got into second, Tim was about, I think it was half a second ahead. And I made one little mistake, lost another half a second, and realised I just had to defend. And I think it was 14 laps of defending or something. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And we could see at different times you were using all the circuit and more to mount that defence. But certainly making moves at the top end of town, quite difficult in this kind of calibre of field. How did you find it there the first time out trying to get forward?
To be honest, first 5 laps I was just really trying to work out where people were a bit slower. And then I found when everyone was in a bit of a train, if you've got a move and you go for it, they were quite good at giving me the space really. So yeah, it was fun. Much prefer it to the Skippy, dare I say it. Yeah,
I think there'll be a few folk that share that opinion. Certainly drives a bit differently, has some of the same characteristics, enough to keep you interested, agile, nimble, bit of pace there too, and a bit of fun. So great to see you out there, mate. Hopefully we get to see a bit more of you, and the results keep coming your way. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, mate?
Yeah, just everyone I was racing with, you guys for the broadcast, and some of my teammates probably watching.
Fantastic, mate. Well, I hope we get to see you again soon, and congratulations again on P2.
Cheers, mate.
There you go, Corey. That was Fraser Smith, of course. Very strong performance in previous seasons. Dominant, some might say. Great to see him back.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. And as you heard him say, he prefers this over the Skippy. And, it's only been out for a couple of weeks now, and he's already making those kinds of claims. So, it's definitely going to appeal to some people. Like myself, I'm a little bit closer to the top split guys than what I was in the Skippy. So, it could be a chance for a lot of people that we don't normally see to start climbing the ranks a little bit and scratching their way into the top split, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Bigger and better things to come, I'm sure, as people get their legs under them in the new car. Now, we'll bring up the cowboy, Mr. Sam Devantia. Well done, mate. Bit of a battle there for you and Adam Tompkins down there in P6 and 7. First night out in the little Fords. Hope you enjoyed it. How was it?
I'm covered in sweat, so that gives you a little clue. I had fun. I really had fun. Where to start? Honestly, this car is different base from the Skippy. I miss the Skippy low key, but I can see why we moved on to this. Tight racing, 20-minute race. It's like a sprint race from the start. Sprint racing, gotta just keep up and focus. Also got put by Dario's Ovaltine livery. Back in my old days it was Ovaltine, but nah, seriously, good fun. I got no words. I'm speechless.
Well, mate, I'm glad you had a good time out there. A bit of fun to be had, that's for sure. And if you're working up a sweat, it's part track, part car, part excitement in the biggest off of the week. And, of course, the biggest off of the week means it's the biggest off ever so far in the category, and we can lay claim to it early on. Yeah, That's it, mate. Well, congratulations. Top drive. Great to see you out there. Leading ANZ driver, showing us the way once again. Maybe there's a crack at the title this season, eh?
I mean, early splits now, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I guess we'll see, mate. Well, congratulations on a strong performance. Anyone like to give a shout out to tonight?
Just you guys obviously do the broadcast every single week, every season. 30 seasons of Skippy for 8 years. That's big commitment. Oscar Piastri tonight for F1, former SNL racer, F1 day for McLaren, doing well tonight. And I think Dario for Ovaltine, since Ovaltine's back with Milo. Yeah, those two can handle it now. Don't need to worry about it now.
That's it. All right, mate. Great to see you out there. Look forward to talking to you soon.
Yeah, see you guys.
There you go, Corey, the cowboy, having a bit of fun, getting a workout at the same time. It's a lot to be said for the new car by the sounds of it.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And it's great to see Sam out there having a crack as well. And by the sounds of it, he might be a serious contender here for championship aspirations as well. If he's having this much fun, we know that Sam is going to be quick, because when Sam is having fun, he is just about lightning quick sometimes. So it's great to see him be so excited for the brand new car. And I'm looking forward to what he can do this season. Maybe, just maybe, we'll have an AusNZ champion once.
Yeah, mate, I lost you there again. Cut out again. That's okay. Yeah, hopefully we can see an ANZ champion. We've had a couple in the past, particularly in the early days. Haven't had one for a little while, but maybe the Cowboys got it in him. We never know. But our final chat for the top split, at least, was 8th place getter, Mr. Dario Fattini for Team Ovaltine. Good, strong battle throughout, mate. Had a bit of fun at different times, we hope. How'd you find your first run out there for SNL in the Fords?
Hi all. A bit disappointed really, because I mean we knew qualifying was gonna be super important, not just important. I wanted to be in the top 3, and I was just that 1.5 tenths off, and I had the pace, but everybody just posted very good times, and it was a bit of a, I don't know, we just slowed down a bit at the beginning. Turn 1 lost me a position as well. Then Vasco kind of didn't really manage to keep up with Adam. and just tried to catch the guys at the front from there, but didn't really have the pace. So I was kind of doing the same lap times as them. I was a bit disappointed as well because I posted a 47.9 undrafted, and then I just couldn't replicate the pace. I was about 2/10 off that lap. If I could have done that lap like a few more times, I could have caught up with the pack. But yeah, it didn't look like Sam had the pace to catch the four at the front as well. So I would have been able to fight for P6 maybe, but yeah, it's a bit sad I wasn't in the thick of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as the first race of the season, and with these cars, it's a very good turnout. And the racing all week's been quite exciting, so it's very good signs for good things to come.
Yeah, hoping so, mate. Hopefully we get the word out that Sunday night, this is the place to be, and the driving will reflect as people progress in their knowledge and handling of the car. But you're right, the times are so tight here, both because of the circuit and the nature of the car. Very difficult to move forward, and qualifying, we will see, no doubt, will be increasingly important. Perhaps we'll see something different at the longer tracks, a bit more opportunity to pass, but certainly your race can be determined pretty early on, as it's so difficult to move forward at a place like this. But well done, mate. Great to see you out there. Great to see you back and supporting the series once again as we make this challenging move to the new era. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight, mate?
Again, as always, the whole community, everybody's kind of accepting this new car, and I don't think it's just accepting it. I think we're kind of loving it, and it's very good to see. It's very good to see all the old names in SNL and some new ones, and you guys as well. Season 31 now, isn't it?
Yep.
And yeah, I think by moving to this series, you put I don't know, just a breath of new life into the whole iRacing community. Really, I don't know words. Sorry, but I hope it feels exciting, kind of like a new start. It does feel like that for me.
Yeah, it does, mate. I'm hoping we can just give that platform for people to come and have high quality racing each week, and certainly I think this is our eyes to the future. Looking forward, as I like to say,
Yep.
and I think this is the way to go. All right, mate. Listen, thanks again for all your support in the community and out on track. Great to see you there. Look forward to talking to you again soon.
Yep. See you next week. Thank you.
Corey Dario Fatini, good reflections there on where we're moving in terms of the series, the broadcast, and the community. And look, really appreciate the community coming out and supporting such a big fashion.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. It goes to show that, we are, by the community, for the community. And they put on a fantastic show out there tonight. And Dario as well, he put in a good race. He made sure he got some points, even though he didn't have the best of qualifying efforts. But it's just all about consistency. Just consistently finishing, making sure you're into points, and you'll be there at the end, just about guaranteed, as long as there's no breakaway lists throughout the entire season. So, things are still looking up for Dario. As he said, it's only the first race of the season. There's still plenty more action to come as the season rolls on.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Absolutely. And looking forward to seeing how Dario can ply his trade as the season progresses. But now, just quickly, we're talking to podium getter in the second split, Mr. Braden Martin, of course, from Locked On Lads fame, the Locked On podcast. It's been a while, mate. You had a good run in the second split by the looks.
Yeah, not too bad. Just thought I'd pop in and congratulate you guys on the move to the Formula Ford, and just, it's a pretty fun car to drive. So thought, why not throw my hat in the ring and do a couple of SNLs this season, see what happens.
Yeah, perfect, mate. I thought I saw a roaming Wilco in the practice sessions as well. Did he have a run in the end?
Yeah, him and Vernie were in the third split. I think Vernie had pole, but had a spin or a crash or something, so ended up a little bit down. But yeah, they both had a crack, which was good.
Yeah, which is good. And then, of course, the purple and pink and blue, the car, or the black, blue and purple. Well, I can't remember. The Locked On Lads livery showing strong in the lower splits tonight, and yourself the strongest of them all with a podium, mate. So congratulations on that. Any word on the podcast, mate? Is making a return anytime soon?
No idea. I think everyone's just so busy at the moment. So I think the plan was to do one after we did the Bathurst 12-hour in February, maybe. But just no one's been able to get together. A couple of people overseas. Wilco's been busy. So yeah, I'm sure we'll drag up the old microphones at some point and give another one a spin, but no confirmed plans.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, mate. Well, great to talk to you. Great to see you get a good result tonight in the maiden voyage for SNL here in the Fords. And congratulations, mate. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah, probably not in the top split anytime soon, judging by the numbers, but maybe running around in the pleb splits down the bottom. So yeah, enjoy.
That's it. Thanks, mate. Talk soon.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Corey Braden Martin, who was the leading ANZ driver, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he was just ahead of Donald Sabanal for Team Milo, who finished in 4th and 3rd, respectively. Good night out for them. Good night out for us, mate. That might just about do us here. Thoughts on the first night out in the Formula Fords?
Well, it's hard to really discern whether what direction this series is going to go for us, with it being such a tight technical track. But I'm excited to see what this season will bring us, especially once we do get to some of the bigger tracks where drafting can come into play just a little bit more. Even though, as we've alluded to, these cars don't really have much in the way of drafting opportunities, but the draft certainly does help in little bits. So it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to play out as the season progresses. And it's just going to be interesting to see how these drivers adapt to the cars, especially after, we've been doing the skippies for so long. And, it's a great change of pace, honestly. I'm just very excited.
Yeah, mate, should be good. Looking forward to seeing how we go. And certainly, I would like to voice my thanks for the community that's got behind us for what was 30 seasons in the skips. They've got behind us here for opening night in the Fords. Really looking forward to see where we can go from here. As like I said, we had a great, fantastic mix of old and new faces out there tonight, and hopefully bigger and better from here. But that might do us tonight, folks. Corey, do you want to tell the folks at home what you got on this coming week?
So on Wednesday on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel, twitch.tv/Aussie_Sim_commentator, the Output Racing League is going to be going road racing in the next gen NASCARs around Monza for 22 laps. So that'll be a good little test of skill for our oval drivers over there. Apart from that, it's just going to be a little bit of content creation here and there, maybe a couple of streams, maybe a couple of iRacing streams as well, as I'm trying to get to grips with these Formula Fords as well. So it could be a very exciting week, Alex, and then back again with you next week as we tackle round number 2 of season 31.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Looking forward to that. Absolutely seeing what the next round brings. Donington, 2 UK tracks to open up. What more could you ask for in the Formula Fords? But for now, folks, make sure you go check us out. All the replays of the 30 seasons, moving into 31 of Top Split's coverage of SNL on the Top Split YouTube channel. Join us here next Sunday night on the Top Split TV Twitch channel, where you'll find the best racing action on a Sunday night here now in the Formula Fords. And of course, if you'd like to follow all the SNL action, the news, views and results, make sure you check us out in the Discord community there. Great bunch of folks in there who get everything SNL there as well. But for now, folks, and on behalf of my partner in crime, Mr. Corey Steinhauser, I'm Alex McKellar, and I will say thank you for joining us. As always, it's been a great pleasure and a great entry into the new era of Sunday Night Lights. But for now, folks, I will say ciao for now.